Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Coming back with something a little bit different here today. Coming back with what I personally think will be what the NBA looks like next year, and simming a whole year and seeing who the MVP will be, who the best team in the regular season will be, who will win the NBA championship next year after all the roster changes. Now, not every single player was changed. I actually did this video a couple of days ago, but then all of a sudden Porzingis gets traded from the Knicks to the Mavericks, and that's a huge thing in this series, especially when you see some of the people that I put on certain teams. I turned injuries off, I turned all trades off, so it's just who I have going into the year next year, what team they're with, and who I think will win it all. So, a lot of changes. This is not what's going to happen. This is just what I thought might happen and what some of the rumors have been out on Twitter, social media, any of the rumors that I've heard of, and just what I could see happening. I mean, it's not guaranteed. I had three of the rookies, Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and RJ Barrett, but those aren't the big ones in this series. We have the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard signing in the offseason, Klay Thompson signing in the offseason, no Anthony Davis keeping, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, all of them sticking around with this Los Angeles Lakers team. So a very solid team top to bottom. Vucevic, I could have changed him, but I just kept him there. Then the Dallas Mavericks, they have Kristaps Porzingis, Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr. A lot of changes, but you'll see some of the bigger ones come up in a minute. The Pelicans trade Anthony Davis to the Celtics for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier. And what would happen in real life is probably a draft pick in there, but obviously can't do that with the way the roster builder is on 2K. So we keep going here. A few more things that I could have probably added were, the smaller moves, because those will make a difference next year. But the chance of me just sitting down and looking at all the rosters, all the little pieces, moving Vucevic here, moving Fred VanVleet here, all the little moves, that would have taken me a long time. But you saw at the Warriors, something's a little different about that team. You have to wait and see exactly what I did. There's Zion Williamson. I actually have him on a two-way contract, so I'm not quite sure he plays in the playoffs. If they do make it, I don't remember. But the Celtics here now with Anthony Davis and Kyrie, that is a dynamic duo. We keep going here. Gasol and Conley will probably be gone by now, but I don't know where they'll go, so I didn't decide to put them anywhere. Kemba will be gone. Not quite sure what I could do with him. And then the New York Knicks have Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler, as well as RJ Barrett on the New York Knicks now. This could be interesting. This is going to be a fun year. I think next year is going to be such a huge year. The NBA this year, I think it's just your usual suspects. I think it's going to be the Warriors once again. I think the Rockets are going to be contending there. I think the Nuggets could be a surprise and end up in the conference finals. The Lakers could obviously always be good if LeBron could take them where they need to be, but they're still really young and haven't made a big transaction yet. And then in the East, you have the Bucks, Raptors, and Celtics. I just think this is another year, especially as Boogie Cousins gets healthier, that the Warriors are just going to run away with it. But that comes to next year where I think a lot could change. It's already been rumors that Klay Thompson, if he doesn't get a max this summer, could join the Lakers next in the summer. Kevin Durant's already seems like his agent or somebody has expressed interest in playing for the New York Knicks or even leaving the Warriors as well, which just leaves Steph Curry and Draymond Green back there. But Boogie Cousins has also thought about having another year at Golden State, so that's why I kept Cousins and Curry on that team. So a lot could change here. I know that Marc Gasol and Mike Conley are going to get traded. I just had no idea to whom. Mike Conley has a huge contract, and he's not going to be an easy person just to trade away. And Marc Gasol, I have no idea what teams are interested in Marc Gasol. Could not tell you. Maybe in the Brooklyn Nets might be. I'm not for sure. And then I did the Pelicans to the Pelicans, Anthony Davis to the Celtics, because it feels like the Pelicans are going to wait to the summer to do it. And I think if any team's going to get them the best offer, Jason Tatum's that guy right there. He's better than Lonzo Ball right now. If you add Jaylen Brown, that's two young guys that you can really build upon that have already kind of proven themselves in the NBA to go along with Terry Rozier. So you'd also add a draft pick, which I'm pretty sure they have a really good draft pick. The Celtics do, maybe like the Grizzlies or something like that could be valuable to the Pelicans. So that's why I chose that team. But if he does get traded this year before the offseason, before the trade deadline, I think it's going to be to the Lakers for someone like Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram even maybe. So that's something I could also see. But for this episode, I did trade him to the Celtics because I could also see that being a possibility. Jimmy Butler, I put on the Knicks because it does not feel whatsoever like he's going back to 76ers. And then I honestly have no idea where he's going to go. If the Lakers get Kawhi and Klay Thompson, obviously they don't want Jimmy Butler. So I honestly didn't know what to do with him. So I thought the Knicks might offer him one because they're trying to be relevant again. They really are. Trey Porzingis opening a lot of salary cap in the summer. I mean, I don't know what will happen in that situation. I think we're going to find out soon, but it doesn't seem like it was just him wanting out Porzingis. It seemed like something was going on behind the scenes, so we'll have to wait and see what comes out about that. But he is gone. He's with the Mavericks. It seems like he's going to sit out the rest of the year, which sucks. I hope the Mavericks are honestly competing for an 8 seed. We get to see Doncic and Porzingis play together this year. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that's such a good acquisition by the Mavs there. Trading Dennis Smith Jr., who they're already shopping around anyway, as well as DeAndre Jordan, who has a big contract, who's probably going to get waived anyway for the Knicks, then adding Porzingis. I mean, that's such a good trade. That's a terrible trade for the Knicks. The thing that I like about it is they are opening a lot of money, which gives them the chance to sign a big free agent, but you had the chance to get Dennis Smith Jr. in the draft, and if you wanted him, you could have drafted him then. Instead, you got 2 point guards now, Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina, that I mean, it's just kind of a mess right now until they try to sign some big free agents in the offseason. I don't know. We're really going to find out a lot. But in the sim, you see we're here with the Lakers, 40-29. I'm off my NBA talk for now. If you want to see more videos like this where we talk the NBA, I'm totally down. If you guys have comments about the NBA, I'd love to go back and forth in the comments talking about what could happen this year in the NBA and stuff like that. Just go ahead and comment that in the comment section. I'll reply to you, and we can have a chat about it. Where we agree on something or you disagree with something, go ahead and let me know. But this is obviously a 2K sim. If you want to see me do more things like this, I could obviously change it to seasons past or a couple years down the road. Or if you want to see an expansion beyond this sim into like the next couple years, just let the CPU sign free agents, I'm totally down to do that. But today we're just doing what I think the NBA will look like next year. And the Los Angeles Lakers struggled a little bit more than I thought they would. 47-35 in the regular season. You see Steph Curry wins MVP, 34.6 points per game, 7.5 assists. Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year, 14-7-7. Dennis Schroeder, he's Sixth Man of the Year, and unsurprisingly, 18 points on the bench. Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis, 25-12-5. That's a great year. Jordan Clarkson, Most Improved, and Brad Stevens, Coach of the Year. Well, when you got Kyrie and AD, you can probably do a lot to be Coach of the Year. First team is Curry, Wall, Antetokounmpo, Paul George, and Nikola Jokic. That's a solid All NBA first team for next year. John Wall coming back off surgery. That could be a big one. Then Irving, Westbrook, James, Durant. I didn't quite see who that last one was, actually. Maybe Embiid. Harden, Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and DeMarcus Cousins coming into the third team. And then all defensive first team. You see as we keep going along here. Pretty crazy here so far that we got going on. Ja Morant makes it, but I definitely did something with Zion Williamson on a 2-way contract. I needed to fix that. What I did was just edit a player already on the team that wasn't very big. It was only like a 70 overall, or even lower. So obviously didn't get him his full thing because I don't think he's on the postseason roster, and I know injuries are turned off, so I definitely messed up there somehow. But here is the first round. It's going to be Golden State versus Minnesota, Lakers versus the Nuggets, OKC, Portland, Houston, San Antonio, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Washington, Indiana, Toronto, New York, Boston, Orlando. Boston with the sweep. Toronto in 5, Indianapolis in 6, Cleveland upsets the Bucks in 6, the Warriors in 5, Lakers in 5, OKC in 5, and Houston in 5. So we got a lot of the top teams in the second round, except for the Bucks. They didn't quite make it, and the Knicks lost with KD and Jimmy Butler. But the Lakers get eliminated in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. So it's Warriors, OKC, Boston, Cleveland in the conference semifinals. Now this is interesting, because we know that some random things can happen. As you see, I'm looking through the roster right here. The Cavs, I don't know how they made it this far. I mean, a healthy K-Love, I guess. Cedi Osman going off. I'm not quite sure. But here's 65-17 Boston. You'll just see what they do to Cleveland. I mean, that's just... Cleveland gets 1, but quick work there. And then Golden State up 3-2, but OKC comes back and wins in 7. Steph Curry with 28. It looks like DeMarcus Cousins could have had some foul trouble. 24, 11, and 9 for Westbrook. Heading to the finals, it's Celtics and OKC. Thunder get game 1, get game 2. Celtics game 3, Thunder game 4. Going to a game 7, and Boston comes all the way back to 3-1 down. Oh no. You cannot live down the jokes at this. We all know what happened to the Warriors, letting up a 3-1 lead, and now OKC after KD ran after he blew a 3-1 lead against the Warriors, and now here's OKC with Paul George and Russell Westbrook blowing a 3-1 lead. Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is your NBA Finals MVP, probably deservedly so. They go off in Boston and win Game 7. So there you have it. Next year, with all the changes, OKC stays the same, and they're going to make the NBA Finals and make it to a Game 7. And probably should have won the NBA Finals, but instead, Kyrie Irving and the Brow are going to come back. Nobody needs Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. This team is good enough with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. Now, will Kyrie Irving be with the Celtics next year? I don't even know. Could he be on the Knicks? More than likely. Could he be with the Lakers? Possibly. So, this is apparently what my rosters in 2K think's going to happen next year. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I do not. I think it's going to be Lakers and Knicks probably next year if Kyrie. It feels like Kyrie's going to the Knicks. It just feels like it. And then I think he's going to get somebody to go along with him. Anthony Davis, I don't even know where he ends up. Maybe he ends up with the Celtics. I'm not sure. So many things could happen. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section if there's something you agreed or disagreed in this episode. Make sure you let me know if you want to see more about this. And as always, I'm out. Peace.